Right, what have I got today? Right, well, it's a bunch of stuff, so I'll pick them up and boosh, that's what I'm looking at today. So it's Storacell, so I'll put them all aside and I'll look at the smallest one first because the size is pretty irrelevant. They do virtually the same thing. So we're looking at the Storacell battery management system. And it says here you can dispense one at a time. Now that sounds nice because obviously when you've got a box, I mean with a box obviously you can get one out at a time, but you can't dispense one at a time. And I'm sick of these damn boxes, so I've looked into these after speaking with people on the channel. So as usual, thank you to the subscribers who know more than me and have helped me out. So thank you for that. So back to what I'm supposed to be reviewing. So organize and store batteries. And because of the way these are designed, you can see how many you've got because of the gaps. In fact, let's open the damn packet. Let's have a look. So this is the AAA 6-pack. Now they come in different sizes. So if you're after some for the AAA, which I'm going to look at first, you can get them in sizes of 4. So that means you can put 4 cells in at a time. 6, which is what this one is. 8, 12, and I think they've got a brand new one out, which is 20. So that's what it looks like. So very, very small and slimline. There's not an excess of material. So if you look at these damn things, which I'm sick of, I'm sick of all of them. I've got these all over the damn house. I've had enough of them. So with these, let's say you put 2 cells in, there's an excess of space left, which is taking up space you don't need. And another thing I don't like about them is I do a lot of hiking, night hiking, camping and things like that. So if you pick up the pace, this is what I hear for hour after hour. You know, it sounds like you sound like a damn one-man band. Essentially, and it's irritating because they're never made for an exact fit. They're made for multiple cell sizes, so nuisance. Whereas with this, you're not going to get that. It takes up the amount of space necessary for the cell and not much more with a locking mechanism. So let's get into the old style here and let's try one of the cells. So obviously AAA is a universal size. They all have to be a certain diameter and length, so this should fit. So bear in mind this is the locking mechanism. You may want to put this with the positive terminal to the front there. So pop that in, and then because this slightly comes in, so we'll show that. Now can you see this lip? This slightly protrudes in and obstructs the cell. So in other words, if I do this, it's not going to come out. Now there is a little bit of a noise there, which I'm not happy about. I wonder if I can put that the other way around and it's any better. Let's try that. Because I notice it's got a little hole here. So I wonder if that's for the positive terminal, you see? See the positive terminal? Not much better. But I think you'll agree, that sounds like a bloody percussion instrument. That's minimal, and if it's in a pocket, it's probably not going to do anything because you're going to have pressure from the sides. Okay, so I can live with that. It's better. It's an improvement. So as you can see, it does have a hole there for the positive terminal of your battery, although it does seem to go the other way around. And as you can see, I'm rapidly being able to take the cell in and out with just my thumb there. No problems. The lip's enough to stop it coming out, but pressure from your thumb and it comes out. So I'm happy with that. Now, you can get these in various colours. Off the top of my head here, so I do apologise if I've missed any. I think there's clear orange, I think it was military green, yellow, black, although they called it something stupid like tuxedo black, like what they do with cars. It's never just a red car, it's sunburst red and things like that. So tuxedo black, and I went for Moonshine, which it should say on the packet somewhere. Let's have a look. I can't find it on the damn packet. There. So on this one, I went for the SL stands for slimline, I think, AAA, slimline as in it's like this, whereas the larger ones are double row, and this is Moonshine. So you're probably thinking, what the hell's Moonshine? Now I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a little bit of a glow to that. So if I put this in my hands out of the light somewhat, you can see that's glowing. In fact, I'll charge it up, so I'm going to use the fireflies here. So if an amount of light is applied to this, you can probably see there straight away it's glowing. So there, you can see that's glowing quite profusely in the hands there. Now, I wasn't able to find out what chemical we're using on this because I've got quite a few glow-in-the-dark things. And I know the old style ones use, I think it's a zinc sulfide, I think is the additive they use in the plastics and things. what's essentially happening is it's just photoluminescence basically. So there's a phosphor in the material, so light's hitting that particle and it's slowly letting that light out over time. So when light's going in, there, it's being trapped by these particles, well, it's being affected. Those particles are being affected anyway. You're certainly not trapping the photons, but then it's then re-releasing that energy, which was the light energy, and it's re-releasing it as a luminescence there. So if you're really interested in the the Moonshine modes, we can go into that at the end of the video. I'll show you some runtime tests. Basically, it's pretty bright for the first sort of 20-30 minutes, and then it rapidly drops off, but it does retain some, and I've done some overnight testing, and you do get a certain luminescence, which would be useful in a camping environment where there's no natural light sources. I can see that being helpful. You could charge it during the day when it's out on a surface, and then 2 or 3 hours later when you're looking for a spare battery, it would make it easier to find. So for me, this would be an advantage. For most people, you're probably thinking it's a stupid gimmick and I don't need it. And you could also argue that you'd be better off getting something like the yellow or orange ones, because if you're camping, you drop stuff in leaf litter, it's a nightmare to find. I've lost knives, tools, all sorts of things, whereas if it's brightly coloured, it's much more easy to locate because it doesn't mould in with all the stuff around it. So like I say, I think it's probably using zinc sulfide. I don't think with the size of this that it's going to be using something like, I think it's strontium illuminatus or whatever the hell the chemical's called, which is much better. It certainly lasts 10, 12 times longer anyway, and it's much more bright. So they're probably using the older style, but I was unable to find that. In fact, I might send an email to the company and see if they can tell me what they're using there. They may or may not tell me. So anyway, so moving rapidly on. So that is the AA. So let's move on. Where's the next one? There it is. Right, so this is a AA. So we'll get them out the way. We'll keep a AA cell and move that out the way. Okay, so this is the package, pretty much exactly the same. Nice, again, I should have mentioned before, made in the USA, so nice to support Uncle Sam there. I like that. And this is where it's from, so St. Charles, Illinois, I presume. You can ring them toll free, but that's an American number, obviously. And there's your patent numbers. And if you're really interested, you look at that. You can use it for outdoors, travel, photo. Now this is a 12-pack, so in the AA you can get them in the 4, which is sort of like that sort of orientation. Then there's the 8, and then the 12 and the 24. So I just went for the 12 on this one. I think that should be enough for me anyway. So we'll get out the damn package so we can talk about it. So let's see if this fits. So this is a double stack, so much higher capacity and very same design. You've got this open section so you can use your thumbs, and then I presume this is for the positive terminal. So we'll try that now. And you have this same lip design. So this lip here is butting up to the battery and stopping it from coming out. So we'll pop one in there. So as you can see, it goes in, and then it goes past the lip and click. You can hear the click, and you can see that obstructs it, and it can't come out. Now that's better, listen. No sound on that one. So why is the no sound on that one yet on this one? Now this is a standard size AAA. Listen, a little bit of a noise. So whereas with this one, nothing. I wonder why that might be. I wonder if it's a length issue. Look, you see there's a slight length discrepancy. Now I don't know whether that's for a reason or not, but I would have liked to have seen that tighter. Maybe it's the cells which are slightly longer. You can see there's a gap there, you see. Whereas with this, nout. Okay, nice to see. And then the positive terminal's gone through there. So spot on, and it works exactly the same. It's got this where you can slide it past those. So what you would do is if you want the cell out, just push it up and it comes out. No problem. And put it back again. And again, I went for Moonshine on this, so it's glow in the dark. We'll just test that. So we'll stick a bit of light on. Obviously, you're looking at any sort of light source is going to charge this up, but certain light sources will charge it up faster. So you can see that's pretty glowing there. So another handy feature. So pretty good. So happy with them. They also do a 9-volt. Now I use a lot of lithium 9-volt batteries, especially for smoke detectors and other applications. But I didn't buy one of them, and it wasn't until a recent comment from a subscriber where I realised that they did them. So I might look at that in a future video. That only comes in a 4-pack for the 9-volt batteries. Although I think there is a combo one where it's all different batteries, but this isn't what this video is about. So they also do an 18650. So I've got a couple of 18650s here, both exactly the same. Unfortunately, they didn't do a double stack. I was hoping maybe they'd do like a double stack. I don't know why that is. So I had to get 2 4-packs, but never mind. And there's the packet if you really want to have a look at it. And it just says, look, you can use it for digital media, flashlight, and vaping. If you want a cigarette, but you aren't allowed to have one. So there you go. So strange why it doesn't come in the double stack. Maybe that's going to be done in future. I presume maybe this sort of cell isn't as popular, although with vaping it should be more popular. It's not just flashaholics like us who use them. So let's get the packet open. Let's see what this is. And again, both of these are in I keep saying moonlight. I'm used to the moonlight modes. These are both in Moonshine, which it doesn't seem to see anywhere in the packet there. So get rid of that. Let's get rid of the packaging and we'll test it with some cells. So let's see what I've got here. Let's have a look. So I think I did have a cell knocking about. Where is it? Right, there's one. Right, so here's a flat top 18650. So let's see if this goes in. Now obviously diameter and length should be absolutely fine, but you are going to get differences in 18650 cells. So for example, this is going to be minimal, and then you have you know, above flat tops you have button tops. In fact, where's that night core? There it is. Right, so let's have a look at this night core. So this night core has a button top. It's sort of semi-proprietary actually because it's a little bit longer, so it'll be interesting to see if that fits. So let's try the flat top first. So you have a positive cell there if you need it, but this is a flat top, so that's pretty irrelevant. So that fits. Now look, there's a now interesting, right? There's a size discrepancy, but I understand why they've done that. Can you see that? So I'll move it just to show you. There, can you hear it? So they've intelligently left a gap, but it's still tight. It's not making a noise. Listen, no matter how rapidly I move that. So that's interesting. So they've done that. So this probably fits. Let's just have a look. So if I put it this way, now look, that's not fitting. Oh, hang on, have I got the wrong cell? This is a 21700. Am I being stupid here? I think this is a 21700. Should be. Let me double check. Way to check is look the diameter. So totally different, you see. So that's a 21700. So you can't get you can't stuff a 21700. We've at least learned something through my stupidity. So what I want to try is I want to try a button top cell on an 18650. Now you're only going to get a little bit of extra length. So looking at that, I can tell you straight away. Look. You've got room to grow there, as they say in the pornography industry. So that should be fine. And in fact, looking very carefully, see this little bit of movement in the width, see? That's quite interesting. There's a little bit of movement in the width, and yet this has been held quite tightly because it's not moving. Look, that's interesting. So it may be slightly tighter down the bottom just to retain it, but there's a little bit of wiggle there you can see. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, because 18650 cells, by definition of the name, should be a specific set diameter. I mean, the problem with 18650 cells is they should all be a certain diameter and a certain size, but you get longer ones, shorter ones. I mean, this was an example on the 21700 form factor. It was slightly longer because it has the inbuilt charging. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to find any Storacell capacity storage systems for the 21700 cells, which is annoying. I mean, I can always put it in, you know, one of these cases you can get, but I don't really want to do that because they rattle around and I don't like them. So it'd be nice for Storacell to bring out a 21700 version of this. So I'll be eager to buy one of them when they come out. But I'm happy with this so far. That works for my purposes. Really, I've rabbited on rather a long time for a system which stores a few batteries. But I like to cover these things in detail. So I'll give you some close looks just in case anyone knows. So here's the AAA. So I'll get a close-up view just for people who really want to know. So there you go. And that's what it looks like looking down the barrel of the storage unit there. And then if you flip it over, there's the, I presume, positive terminal end. So that's the AAA. Here's the AA. It's a double stack system. And you can see down the barrel there what it looks like. And then you've got your open section so you can thumb the battery up and down. Sorry, cell I should be saying. And then there's the bottom section there. That's what it looks like. So pretty lightweight but robust. It's not a soft plastic. It's got a bit of rigidity to it, so well designed. And there's the 18650. And we'll check that this one glows in the dark just for people, because otherwise I'll get comments, does that one glow in the dark? So let's charge this up a little bit with the fireflies. Yes, that looks pretty green. and you can see it's glowing in my hand there. You can see it reflecting off the hand there. So pretty interesting. So what I'll do is I'll show you some glow in the dark sections and maybe its run times. But what I also wanted to discuss, so I'll put that out the way, was other options for battery storage, because quite interestingly I had a look and I saw online you can 3D print your own. So let's just flip over and have a look at that. Right, so here I am, we've flipped over to the screen on the computer here. Here are some things on Thingiverse, or Thingiverse, or whatever the hell they call it. Quite interesting. So these are some things you can 3D print out. I don't have a 3D printer. I've had a quick look into them, and to be quite honest with you, with all this, you know, you've got to manually level this and level that, and you get stringy bits, and you've got to get the right filament. I'm just going to wait 5 years until I've sorted that all out, then I might get one. But in the meantime, if you do have one, here are some other options. So you can see they've got this one's quite an interesting one. Now you can see here on the left you've got 18650, and then you've got 2700s, which I don't own or use. Then you've got the 21700s on the far right there. So you can see you pop them in the top there, and then they fall down at the bottom, and you just take them out as and when ready, and I presume you then charge them up and put them back in. So let's look at some different views of that one. So it's just interesting, you know, it's good to see that you've got these different options. So there you can have them as separates. And then that's what the 3D printing will look like. You print out the different sections. So very interesting to see. And you can put your own things on there. Now, what you can do is, I think you can zoom in on this. Actually, you can't on that one, but that's quite interesting. And then I also noticed there was another one. This one's quite an interesting one, because it's got like a flip top. The only thing I don't like about it is it looks quite sort of, there's a lot of material being used, which I would have preferred to have seen them use less. And there's the view from the top, and there's it with the top closed. Now bear in mind this is 3D printed, so you're probably thinking, well, how on earth does the hinge work? Yeah, exactly. You probably need to find, yeah. So you can see from that image there, you need your own hinge, don't you? You need to put in a couple of bolts as dictated by whatever the instructions are. And there's the sections that make it up. So very interesting. And that's it there. So you can actually go into 3D on this. So let's go into 3D and have a proper look at it. So you can see the hinge section on the left there, and then we're looking down into where the cells would be kept. So very, very interesting. And then you've got the little nub there which the hinge attaches to, and then let's have a look underneath. So pretty interesting. But just looks possibly a little bit more bulky than I want. I would have presumed I would want to see a different sort of retaining mechanism, but it's certainly not rubbish. And then there's another one, which was this one. Now they're calling this heavy duty box for 18650. You can also get a 321-700s in this. Now this looks like it's got a thread, so you can screw this on, and there it is for scale next to a vaping machine there. And there it is in a different colour. There's the sections. So this must have a threaded section in it. Yes, you can see the thread inside there. So interesting. So exit that, and there's the main barrel. So that's the main section. So you can see the thread, and then you can get 3 cells in there. So nice, interesting. That certainly is heavy duty. That's not going to, you know, smash open or anything. If you really want to zoom in, you can zoom in on that. I presume that must be the 21700. So very interesting. So they're just some other options, because Storacell aren't the only game in town. I just wanted to try and open people's minds here to the different storage things, because I'm sick of these stupid boxes. I prefer this sort of thing. Probably I would like that one on the wall there. I would like the battery case on the wall. That was by Trebinu. He did that in February of this year. So well done to him there for sharing that and allowing people to print that out. So quite interesting. I like the idea. You see, we'll just scroll down. There's other stuff you can get. You can print off loads of stuff. You can print off fan things, all sorts of things. So, but we're getting bogged down. This is supposed to be a review of the Storacell. So, whilst we look at this, let's talk about these Storacell. So, I'm going to give them a good mark out of 10. I wish they were half the price they were, but hey, that's life. And they're made in America, so you're going to get a bit of quality there. So I don't mind paying for that and supporting that sort of thing. So I wish they were half price, but they seem to do the job. The only thing I'd probably change is on the AAA. I don't understand why there's that slight size discrepancy, which leads to a possible rattle. But if that's not going to ruin your life, it's certainly not going to be an issue. So I'm going to have to give them a 9. It does the job. It glows in the dark if you need it. I wish it was a bit cheaper, but decent job. So right, enough of me waffling. I'm going to look at some more things on this Thingiverse. see if I can find anything cooler, and I'm going to let you get on with your day. So thank you very much for joining me. Goodbye.